Hey guys, this is Mr. H. I'm going to do question number 16 from the Regents review and then post this to that playlist. Okay, so what it has here is it says solve 6x squared plus 5x minus 6 equal to 0 algebraically. I'm going to underline this for the exact values of x. Okay, now when you see a quadratic equation, and it says solve it algebraically, all it means is that you've got to use the quadratic formula. I'm going to write that up here, quadratic formula. Now, basically, you don't need to memorize it because it's going to be on the reference sheet. And it is, let me circle it real quick if I can. It's right here. Quadratic formula is, I can't write with it. How come it's not letting me write? Why isn't it? Oh, because let me try that one more time. Quadratic. All right, so I'm trying to write here and I have nothing coming up. Okay, well, anyway, the quadratic formula is right here. It's these x equals a negative b plus or minus a square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now, again, you don't have to memorize it. You just have to be able to use it. So I'm going to write it down on my iPad, and then I'm going to refer to it. And I'm going to show you how to do this because everything that you need, we've already used before. All right, so let's go to the iPad now. And let me get rid of, because it wasn't letting me write anyway. Okay, so here's what we got. Basically, what we're going to do is we are going to plug in well, the question should be, where do you get the A, B, and C? Well, the A, B, and C comes from the quadratic itself. So the A term is the first term, so A equals 6. The B term is 5, so B equals 5. And C is the constant, so C equals a negative 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these numbers and we're going to plug them in where you see the variable. So it's going to be x equals a negative 5, put them in parentheses, by the way, plus or minus, and then we have a negative 5 squared, because that's, or it's not a negative 5, it's a plus 5. It's plus 5 squared, and then it's going to be minus 4 times 6 times a negative 6. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking these numbers, and wherever I see the A, the B, and the C, I'm replacing them. And then I got this little piece down here. So it's divided by 2 times 6. Now, this is what you need to do in order to get full credit. Basically, what they want to see is that you know how to take these A, B, and C values and then plug them in where they should go. Now, we're not going to actually calculate this. We're going to store these numbers into A, B, and C, and then we're going to do that. So let me grab the calculator now if I can. Where are you? All right, and I am going to make this bigger so you can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, so the very first thing that I'm doing, well, if I can get this, is I'm going to store 6 into A. So it's going to be 6, control store into A. And then I'm going to do 5, control store into B. Then I'm going to do a negative 6 and store that into C. Press enter. Now I've got those stored. I'm just going to use the quadratic formula. I'm going to say a negative, and notice this, by the way, I'm not putting the x equals because once I press enter, and once I enter all of this, it's going to tell me what x is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go control divide, and then I'm going to say a negative b plus. Now, I can't do a plus and minus, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the plus part first, and then I'm going to copy it and then do the minus part. So this is going to be b squared, and it's going to be minus 4 times a. Now, I need to put a multiplication symbol between the a and the c. Otherwise, the calculator thinks that you're creating a new variable. And then I'm just going to go down to the denominator, and it's going to be 2 times a. Boom. Now all of these numbers are already stored in the letter, so all I have to do is press enter, and it tells me that one of the solutions is 2/3. And it's a fraction, and that's kind of what we expected, because whenever you see the word exact, that means it needs to be a fraction. It can't be a decimal. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to do minus and press enter again, and then there's the other solution. So one of these solutions is 2/3. The second solution is a -3/2. So this one has 2 zeros, and those are our 2 answers. So let me go to my iPad, and I want to show you something. This word right here, whenever you see the word exact, and you're looking at actually, whenever you see the word exact, it doesn't matter where you see it. It usually means I don't want any decimals. I want either integers or I want fractions. I don't want any decimals. That's what this means when you see the word exact. So we had 2 answers, and both of them were fractions. So x equals, what was it, 2/3. And then the other 0 was x equals a -3/2. So those would be our answers. We used the formula, so we would get 1 point for that, and we got both of the answers, so we would get 1 point for that. So this is a 2-point question. We would get all points. Just remember, whenever it says algebraically, all that means is you're going to be using the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. And when it says exact, it means it needs to be either integers, whole numbers, or fractions. It can't be decimals, okay? And that's it. That's all you're doing. So let me stop this